Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker, created by the villain Miles Warren, also known as the Jackal, in The Amazing Spider-Man, number 149, 1975. Warren, who had been obsessed with cloning, created Ben as a perfect genetic replica of Peter. However, Ben's memories were artificially implanted, causing him to struggle with his sense of identity. Ben was initially unaware that he was a clone and believed he was the original Peter Parker, leading to deep emotional confusion. After Peter Parker briefly retired, believing he was responsible for the destruction caused by his alter ego, Ben assumed the role of the Scarlet Spider. During the Clone Saga, 1994, Ben briefly took on the mantle of Spider-Man after Peter Parker's departure, fighting many of Peter's classic foes, including the Green Goblin, the Jackal, and other villains. He was portrayed as a more aggressive and sometimes less cautious hero compared to Peter, though both shared similar powers, including enhanced strength, agility, and spider sense. His story culminated in The Amazing Spider-Man, number 406, 1995, where he was tragically killed by Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. However, Ben's return was later explored in various storylines, such as The Scarlet Spider, 2011. In these later stories, Ben became more independent, adopting the identity of the Scarlet Spider once again, separate from Peter Parker's shadow. Ben's significance in the Spider-Man mythos lies in his exploration of identity, cloning, and what it means to be authentically Spider-Man. Kaine Parker is a clone of Peter Parker, created by Miles Warren. Kaine was designed to be a more durable version of Peter, but was marred by defects, including a more aggressive and unstable personality, and a mutation that caused his skin to be covered in a hardened, scar-like texture. He became known for his brutal methods and disdain for Peter, often serving as a villain in early appearances. His powers include enhanced strength, speed, and agility, similar to Peter's, but he also possesses the ability to leave a burning mark on his victims, a unique ability linked to his mutated form. Kaine's significance lies in his complex relationship with Peter, as he was initially created to be a failed clone, but later, after a period of redemption, he sought to become a more heroic figure. Kaine's character arc revolves around his struggle for redemption and identity, questioning whether he can ever truly be a hero, or if he is doomed to repeat his darker origins. His journey was explored in the Scarlet Spider series, 2011, fighting against his violent tendencies, and forging a path as a protector of the innocent. Kaine's legacy includes a prominent role in the Spider-Verse event, 2014, where he joined other spider-powered individuals from various dimensions to battle the Inheritors. His character represents themes of identity, redemption, and the consequences of cloning, and his presence in the Spider-Man mythos adds depth to the question of what it means to be a true hero. Ultimate Jessica Drew, also known as Spider-Woman, is a clone of Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, Earth 1610. Created by the villainous organization known as Hydra, Jessica was genetically engineered using Peter's DNA with the intention of creating a perfect weapon. She first appeared in Ultimate Fallout number 1, 2011. Jessica was enhanced with additional abilities, including venomous bioelectricity that could be discharged through her hands, which became one of her defining powers. She also possesses enhanced agility, strength, and the ability to stick to walls, similar to Peter's powers. Jessica's story in the Ultimate Universe is complex, as she struggles with her creation and purpose. Initially, she is confused about her identity and motives, but over time, she begins to form her own sense of morality, leading her to act as a hero. She takes on the mantle of Spider-Woman, fighting against villains like the Green Goblin, while also confronting her creators at Hydra. Jessica's significance lies in her role as a female clone of Peter, exploring themes of identity, power, and what it means to live up to someone else's legacy. She was one of the few characters in the Ultimate Universe who was both a clone and a prominent hero, contributing to the legacy of Spider-Man. Jessica's story concludes in Ultimate Fallout when she teams up with the remaining heroes of the Ultimate Universe. Her role as Spider-Woman, while brief, left a lasting impact on the universe, particularly in highlighting the consequences of cloning and the quest for personal identity. Spidercide is a clone of Peter Parker, created by the Jackal. Unlike other clones, Spidercide was designed to be a more aggressive and powerful version of Peter, but he was genetically altered to be unstable and uncontrollable. His physical abilities include superhuman strength, speed, and agility, as well as the ability to shapeshift into a liquid-like substance, allowing him to assume various forms and alter his physical structure. This mutagenic ability made him a more dangerous and unpredictable threat compared to other clones. Spidercide's creation was part of the Jackal's larger larger plan to torment Peter Parker and demonstrate the flaws of cloning. While other clones struggled with their identities and moral dilemmas, Spidercide was driven purely by a desire for vengeance and destruction. He was manipulated by the Jackal, who used him as a weapon against Peter, but over time, Spidercide broke free of the Jackal's control, gaining a certain level of independence. His violent and unstable nature led him to frequently clash with Spider-Man, with both of them battling each other over their shared origins. Spidercide's significance lies in his role as one of the darker and more dangerous clones of Peter Parker. His existence highlighted the potential consequences of cloning, with his uncontrollable nature and destructive tendencies acting as a cautionary tale of the dangers of manipulating genetics. Despite being a clone, Spidercide never sought redemption or struggled with his identity as other clones did. Instead, he embraced his rage and resentment towards Peter. Ultimate Tarantula is a clone of Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, Earth 1610, first appearing in Ultimate Spider-Man number 133, 2009. He was created by the Roxxon Corporation, a powerful corporation involved in genetic manipulation as part of their experiments to create a more powerful version of Spider-Man. Ultimate Tarantula was designed with enhanced physical abilities, including superhuman strength, speed, and agility, making him a formidable opponent. Unlike Peter, he also has the ability to produce and control toxic webbing, which can paralyze and incapacitate his enemies. As a clone, Ultimate Tarantula's role is to act as an antagonist to Peter Parker. He was created not only to replace Spider-Man, but also to eliminate him as a threat. However, Ultimate Tarantula struggles with his sense of identity, as he is a manufactured copy of Peter, unsure of his purpose and how to navigate his existence. His significance lies in how he embodies the darker side of cloning, particularly the manipulation of genetic material for violent purposes. Ultimate Scorpion is a clone of Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, Earth 1610, first appearing in Ultimate Spider-Man number 133, 2009. Created by the Roxxon Corporation, he was designed as a more powerful, genetically enhanced version of Spider-Man. His body is designed to be stronger, more durable, and more lethal, making him a dangerous adversary for Peter Parker. His creators intended for him to be a more controllable, aggressive version of Spider-Man, one who would eliminate Peter and prove superior. Ultimate Scorpion's role in the storyline is primarily that of an antagonist. He is part of Roxxon's larger plan to use cloning technology to create a perfect, obedient version of Spider-Man, which aligns with their corporate interests. However, despite being a clone, Ultimate Scorpion has his own twisted sense of identity, shaped by his violent nature and programming. Unlike Peter, who has a strong moral compass, Ultimate Scorpion is driven by a need for power and an intrinsic hatred of Peter Parker, whom he sees as weak. His creation raises moral questions about the ethics of cloning and genetic manipulation, as Roxxon treats him as a mere tool rather than a sentient being. Throughout his brief appearance, Ultimate Scorpion poses a significant threat to Peter, both physically and emotionally. Their battles represent a clash of ideologies: Peter's desire to protect and do good versus Ultimate Scorpion's aggression and ruthlessness. His story adds depth to the larger theme of identity within the series, as Peter faces the reality that his clones, while created from his own DNA, do not share his moral values or sense of self.